Can you believe that back near the beginning of Destiny 2, high-impact pulse rifles were being slept on? It wasn't until Forsaken came around that Redrix's broadsword was reintroduced in place of Redrix Claymore, and it very slowly caught wind in the meta. But this pulse rifle archetype has always had the potential for some of the fastest TTKs in the game. Fast forward 6 years later, and now we have things like the Messenger, No Time to Explain, and Elsie's Rifle. Elsie's Rifle is here to take the throne. It is easily an S tier weapon with S tier perk combinations, so let's go ahead and break down this PvP god roll that makes it best in class and that no other weapon can get. Alright, so getting into the Elsie's Rifle. First things first, you can get multiple PvE rolls, you can get multiple PvP rolls, but the flexibility of this weapon easily makes it one of the best in the game as far as pulse rifles go. Not only is this weapon the overall best because of its flexibility and access to top tier perks, but this specific roll combination that we're going to talk about today is not able to be had on any other weapons. As I've mentioned before, we even look at something like the Messenger, which has been at the top of the meta for legendary pulse rifles for a very long time now. The god roll I'm talking about today can't be had on the Messenger, but it's a perk combination that provides top tier consistency and makes your weapon feel phenomenal. So as we're looking at our perk pool here and we're fleshing out what our god roll is, I want to point out that for me, traits that are passively active or consistently benefit the weapon, as opposed to perks that require a kill activation or a higher activation cost. I prefer the prior. I like consistency in my engagements, and I like for the benefits of my perks to have the potential to be active in every single engagement. So I'm not really looking for a roll that I can slay out with in 6s. So when it comes to this first column of barrels, you have a lot of different good options. Here's a little tip for everybody. Elsie's Rifle at the base 73 recoil direction has a noticeable horizontal kick to its recoil spread. This is super easy to get rid of just by adjusting the barrel on your weapon. Here we have barrels that can increase our recoil direction, but I'm not focused on increasing my handling. I'd rather increase my range or stability. So that's why I would go with extended barrel. Going from 73 to 83 recoil direction will make a world of difference to how your weapon feels. So even if you get a roll that doesn't have a recoil direction increasing barrel, just slap on a counterbalance mod to get it off that base 73 stat. After we have a nice consistent spray pattern and a nice bump to our range, the two perks to look at in the next column are going to be high caliber rounds or ricochet rounds. They just recently decreased the amount of flinch that primaries deal by about 20%. This might be incentive for people to run high caliber more often, but on a weapon like this, it kind of just incentivizes me to focus on my own weapon's consistency instead of disrupting others. Plus ricochet rounds comes with better stats as well, so that puts our stability at a really healthy spot. In our next perk column, what stands out immediately is Keep Away and Zen Moment. In my previous video where I put all of the brave weapons on a tier list, I pointed out that Keep Away is a very good pick. Guys, if you're looking for that god roll, Zen Moment is where it's at. Zen Moment does a ton to help your weapon, and it does so by letting you use it like you normally would, which is what I love about it. It reduces the visual shake of your weapon on screen and how much your reticle bounces while you're shooting. Zen Moment gains these effects over time based on how much damage you're dealing, but since we're using a pulse rifle, after our first shot in a burst, we're already reaping the benefits of it, and every shot preceding that just makes it that much better. Cool Guy made a really good comparison of the visual effect that Zen Moment provides for your weapon, and it really emphasizes how much of a difference it makes and how it can affect your gameplay. With this archetype of high impact frame pulse rifles, they have an optimal time to kill of 0.67 seconds. This can be lowered by other damage increasing perks, but at base, that's already one of the best in the game. So we really just want to increase our consistency so that we can reach that optimal TTK more frequently. Zen Moment will definitely do that, making your weapon more stable, better guarded against flinch, and keep your reticle in place so that you can laser people in a gunfight. So now that you have one of the best perks for consistency and staying stable in a gunfight, our next perk for consistency is Headseeker. Zen Moment makes the weapon easier to use. Headseeker makes the weapon easier to use. Headseeker actually makes the weapon easier to use. Like, it's not just flinch resist, weapon shake, and reticle bounce. It's literally the number of headshots that you need to hit to get a kill. Headseeker just makes it easier to achieve. How Headseeker works is that you land body shots with the weapon, and that increases the precision damage and the aim assist for a short time. You can chain body shots while the perk's active to refresh the timer, and I personally feel like the fact that Headseeker comes with +10 aim assist as well is insane. It makes for some crazy value on this perk. Part of the reason for this is that because we received our recoil direction bonus from extended barrel, we can afford to not use counterbalance and instead use a targeting adjuster. So we get a +10 in aim assist from Headseeker, another +5 from our targeting adjuster, in which Elsie's already has really good stats. You can then further this by adding targeting mods on your helmet, and then you just have really nasty aim assist on this weapon all the time. Zen Moment and Headseeker can ramp up on body shots, but once you do that, both of those perks are then active and make it so much easier for you to laser the head, because you're getting bonus aim assist and better weapon performance. And no Hannah Montana, this really is the best of both worlds. You get a more consistent weapon to accurately hit your optimal time to kill, but even when you do have a slight margin of error, Headseeker just makes it back up, bringing you right back to that optimal time to kill. If you can get a ranged masterwork to go along with the rest of this god roll, that leaves you at 85 range on this Elsie's rifle. At this range stat, you don't even start to see damage fall off from the weapon until 38 meters. And as you can see from these tests right here, you can still receive a 2 burst far beyond that. This range gives you a nice buffer to which you can still secure 2 bursts at competitive ranges. We still have a really healthy stability stat at 65, and stability is tied to flinch resistance, so this is a big thing to consider. But although Zen Moment doesn't actually affect our stability stat itself, it really sort of mimics the benefits that having high stability grants you. So having a healthy stat plus Zen Moment as well leads to a compounding effect of a weapon that's really in your control and is quite tame when you're sending out fire as well as receiving it. Extended barrel adding that +10 really makes a world of difference when it comes to our recoil direction and that pattern spread. On top of that, our aim assist is in a really good spot because of Headseeker and our targeting mods, but the synergy between Zen Moment and Headseeker is not something you can find on any other pulse rifle. After many years of competition within this archetype, Elsie's rifle has definitely found a way to shine through to the top and beat out a lot of rifles, especially because it has this roll that none of the other ones can get. Now this isn't to say there aren't other really good 340 RPM pulse rifles out there. Matter of fact, in one of my videos I actually highlight a really good option in the same archetype because I love this archetype and it's one of my favorites. But specifically this weapon has such a good perk combination on, and next season you're going to be able to enhance all of these perks retroactively. If you get this weapon now, going into the final shape, you're going to have a really reliable pulse rifle that is honestly being super duper slept on right now. And it's not high on the usage charts like a lot of the other Brave weapons are. This is definitely one of the weapons that are being slept on the most right now. So take advantage of this information and get ahead of the curve when it comes to the meta. But my friends, that'll be all for this video. I just wanted to bring some attention to this weapon roll because it is really phenomenal, and like I said, a lot of people are sleeping on it. And when the final shape drops on June 4th, we're going to be streaming raid prep all throughout the week. So it's going to be a humongous weekend streaming, seeing all the new stuff that final shape has to offer, including the prismatic subclass, new weapons, new content, and the raid itself. If you want to check that out, or you guys want to see more deep insights into the crucible just like this video here, definitely subscribe so you don't miss anything. With so much more content on the horizon, you guys stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and peace out.